Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This video is going to be an overview of some new makeup releases. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This is my monthly overview of recently announced makeup releases and whether I'm gonna buy them. Are these going on a wish list? Is any of this of interest to me? We're just gonna dive right in because there was a lot that was announced. Before we get into the video though, it may be good to know for those people who are new here to know a little bit about me and the channel. My name is Maaike, I live in the Netherlands, I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup. I have been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love eyeshadow palettes, Estee and CATRICE, and getting the use out of my makeup. So let's just get chatting about these new makeup releases, and I hope you'd like to stick around. So yes, new makeup releases, there has been a lot, and I really had to edit down this edition because there was just so much, and I always save images on my phone on Instagram like throughout the month as I'm like just browsing Instagram. I find a new makeup release that sparks my interest. I save it to my account, and then right before I sit down to film this video, I always like to go back to the list and like go through it, like are there anything doubled, or you know, is everything truly my like top favorite thing I want to talk about this month. And this time there was just so much because I had completely underestimated how busy it would be with all the new makeup releases, because I was like, you know, it's the start of the new year. It will probably be still quite slow for it, you know, being the new year, etc. But of course, there was Chinese New Year. There's Valentine's Day, like all of these moments in the year, all of these holidays that brands tap into to try and make money off of us, that you're just getting loads of special collections, and some of it is interesting to me, and some of it just isn't, and we're seeing a complete launch of so many new concealers and foundations. Like there's a lot of base products being released, which bear with me as we're going along. Before we get into the video though, I need to make a short announcement for those of us who live in the European Union like I do. A great place to shop US based indie brands is through Monolith, and they have announced their new restock is going to happen on the 25th of February. So it's a couple more weeks, and then we can buy a whole host of US-based indie brands again. I just wanted to put it out there. It was like on their stories. I don't think I screen grabbed it, but I saw that announcement and I was like, I need to remember to say that at the start of the video. The first release I want to chat to you about is the new Fenty Beauty Concealer. This is the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. And this thing, I've heard really great things about. You all guys, if you've been here, you know the drill. I cannot buy Fenty where I live. I need to go abroad in order to find it. Now, I do have a couple of trips coming up that have Sephora that will have Fenty. However, whether we will already have this new concealer, I just never know. But because with some of these US-based brands, they are released in the US first, even if they're at Sephora, and we usually get a little bit later. And because Fenty Beauty is only sold in like a couple of places in Europe, it's usually sold out really quickly. So I'll definitely check it out if I do happen to find it, because I'm currently really on a roll trying some more concealer for you guys. And since this says it's hydrating, I want to try it because I did try the Fenty Beauty, like the under eye thing at some point, but everything they've had base-wise has always been far too matte for me. And I didn't love their like hydrating foundation-like thing they had that transferred onto everything. So I would be very curious to see what the Fenty Beauty Concealer would be like. Then there is a new Maybelline matte foundation, the Lumi Matte, which has been released in Asia. So whenever this comes anywhere else, we just don't know. But, you know, this looks nice. But yeah, Lumi Matte, I don't know. Those kind of finishes usually don't look right on me because anything matte usually looks heavy and cakey within 30 minutes on my skin. So I don't think this is going to be for me, and I've mentioned many times before how Maybelline releases usually get here very, very late. So no telling whether this is going to make it. Now, and then this next release, I think I actually forgot to tell you about it in my previous video that I did like this. The Milani Cream Bronzer. I don't think I put it in the video. It was still like lurking around some of my saved folders in Instagram. It's like, oh, I think this may have ended up in the wrong folder, but I had fully intended to talk about this before, and then I didn't. Milani does some really, really good makeup. I have tried a full face of Milani in the past, but they do like to keep some of their older products around, and especially here where I live, I can only buy Milani online if I buy it, and a lot of the products that we can get are some of the older, like, those rose shade blushes, I forgot to name of them, and like those baked bronzers that they have, and the matte foundation and concealer, the conceal whatever that they have. Like, a lot of the new products from Milani just don't come here. And if they come here, they are again going to be out of stock. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get my hands on this anytime soon. But yeah, Milani has come out with some nice things. So maybe sometime later in 2024, I could do like another full face of Milani, because I think it's been 2 years since I did a video like this. And it's just, I like doing full face makeup look videos to try loads of new products from a brand. So maybe this could be a nice occasion for me to try some more Milani. So remember what I said about Lunar New Year and Valentine's Day collections making quite an appearance in this video. There's also a lot of Essence and Catrice, because not only that they do limited edition collections, their new collections are also being released, like their biannual update. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, the Essence Lunar New Year limited edition, the Love, Luck, and Dragons one, looks alright, but this is not something that screams buy me to me at all. Then there were so many new lipstick launches as well. I saw some from like Clé de Peau, and I believe Chantecaille did some as well. But the ones that I like the look of the most are the ones from Clinique. This is their Pop Long Wear lipstick. Comes in three finishes, and there are 36 shades in total. So this is definitely one of those complete rehauls of a lipstick line. Yeah, Clinique, I think, was one of the very first high-end lipsticks I ever owned. So these look nice. There seems to be some like good colors here. It is a very safe range though, but it being Clinique, it kind of makes sense. So it's getting a little bit darker because I'm filming it later in the day, because I didn't have anywhere to go until tonight, and I was like, you know what, I'll do my makeup and film the video right before I need to leave. Made a bit more sense to me. This next release though, I did already briefly mention, but I think I forgot to put the color story in that video, and it's the Ultraviolet release from Bella Beauté Bar and Deandra Nicole. This is an Old Purple palette. Old Purple seems to be having a moment within the indie realm. We got the Gothic palette from Cosmic Brushes over the Halloween period, and now we're getting this purpley one. I have plenty of Old Purple palettes. I don't need it from another indie brand, so skipping this one. And then I think a release that quite a lot of people were excited for, it's the new Natasha Denona Berry Pop collection. It comes with, I think, a lip liner, a lipstick, and then this little face trio. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm just not excited about Natasha Denona that when it's not eyeshadow. It's just, I've tried a couple of things. I've had one of the glosses. I now have the new concealer to play with to hopefully fall in love with that. I've got a blush. I've got a couple of the face palettes. I've tried stuff. But it's been a little hit and miss for me. Like, I love the blush I have in Rio. That one I love. But I also had the cheek duo from a Valentine's Day collection a couple of years ago, and even though it had gorgeous packaging, I couldn't really work. Like, it was like a blush with a highlighter, and the highlighter just wouldn't pick up. So, and the powder that's in the middle here with the little bit of shine seems to be the same texture. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from it. So I think I'll be passing up on this. This is not something I need. I like the shades, but I really am not in a market for new lipstick at all. Then something I did buy, and if you would like to see me use some of the products from the new KIKO Milano STILA Love limited edition collection that they're doing for Valentine's Day, I'll make sure to link my video down below. This was just a complete stroke of luck. I had decided like 2 months ago that I was going to do a top 5, bottom 5 series for 2024. And I was like, right, I love talking about KIKO products. I'm going to do that video about KIKO. And then they dropped this collection and I held back that video and filmed it with some of the new products in. I got those products in and I filmed the video so I could also insert them there. So that way you got like a 3-for-1 and I really enjoyed the video. The products were really lovely. This is a very high quality collection. With KIKO, however, not all of it sells out, so you definitely don't need to rush out and get it. You can wait for this to go on sale. However, I do feel the purple blue eyeshadow palette, when I went back to link it for that video I did, I could already no longer find it on the KIKO website, so it seems to have sold out online. However, that doesn't mean that KIKO stores no longer have stock, because that's like separate like logistical streams. So, and it could very well be, I very often feel with KIKO that then something seems sold out and then they still put it on sale a few months later. I've seen that happening with them. So you definitely don't need to pay full price for KIKO, but yeah, this looked interesting and I bought it for the video solely for that reason. More Essence then. This is a US only release as far as I can tell. This is the Keep Me Covered powder from Essence. I think, yeah, it's a powder foundation, but I think, wasn't this already out? I wasn't sure. It's like being promoted as it being new, but I've heard people talking about an Essence powder foundation before from people who were in the US that we also didn't get. So now I'm like doubting, like, is this the same product? Yes or no? Maybe someone in my comment section can help me out and tell me about this, because I don't know what this product is like because I've never been able to buy it. There has never been a powder foundation from Essence in the EU as far as I know. Not something I could try anyways with my dry skin, but yeah, if that's something you're interested in, maybe they've reformulated. Could very well be. From Terra Moons, I have the Space Chemistry palette, and I already saw someone in the comments saying like I'm really holding out for the palette, like this is one of the first things I'm gonna buy. And I look at this and I just go, this is just not exciting to me in one bit. Like, it's got 2 mattes, I think. Everything else is shimmer. I do enjoy like the Terra Moon shadows I have. I think I have like a couple of them in my singles collection and they are incredibly high quality. So they do really good and interesting finishes and all that. Like Terra Moons is an indie brand that nails it. But their palettes have never appealed to me. Just like never. Never ever have I looked at a Terra Moons palette and gone like, I would like to own you. Not really. So this is also an easy skip. I think this is Pat McGrath's Valentine's Day collection. Pat McGrath is of course now everywhere because of the Paris Fashion Week show where they did the makeup for, and everybody was like trying to figure out how they got this like polished effect, like you're an actual porcelain doll. Not very wearable for every day, I'd say. So very pretty for like the models during that catwalk, but not something you need to replicate if you're a regular human being, I think. With the Pat McGrath range, I just feel it's so boring by now. I mean, this is a little bit more exciting because we get a fuchsia and a purple, which I don't think we've had these kind of fuchsias and purples in Pat McGrath palettes before. But it just all looks the same to me by now. Like, nothing stands out to me as something that's truly, truly exciting. I'm sure there's people who are going to buy this blindly because it is Pat McGrath, but it's not my vibe. Then I think the thing that everybody went gaga for was the new ColourPop and Twilight collab. Did we need a Twilight collab 15 years after the first movie ever came out? I don't think so. I mean, I was a Twilight myself. Like, I was really into it. It's actually the book that got me back into reading. So I was totally into it. I still think till this day that Robert Pattinson is one of the best actors on the planet. And I still kind of follow his career from time to time, like, to see what he's up to, you know. But this came about a decade too late. I don't think a decade ago ColourPop was necessarily around, nor was makeup and tapping into IPs around the way it is now. So it makes sense from that perspective for sure, but I didn't need this in my life. Like, for a moment there, a part of me wanted to own this collection, just for the nostalgia of it. Just because it was like the only thing that we could really sort of like tap into. But it really, like, the palette is not exciting. There's like a glittering body thing that reminds me of like getting into makeup when I was like 12 and you would stick body glitter all over it. Who remembers those glitter gels from the 90s? There was also part of this collection that wasn't good nostalgia. So let me just keep it at that. I didn't need that in my life. A new Nomad palette, the New Zealand Stargazing Dark and Dazzling eyeshadow palette. Not my vibe. Really not my vibe. I just look at this and I can see where the inspiration is coming from, and I think the inspiration is super clever. And we all know I like me a Nomad formula. I really, really do. But I look at this, I'm like, there are shades in here I like, but my brain is just not being tickled by the way this layout is put together, the shades that are put in here. It's not really happening for me. So this is not one that makes me go like, whoo, would like to get that. Moving on then into more lip products by Guerlain, and they have a new lip oil out. I do think it's a bit late for lip oil, because I feel like 2023 was the year of the lip oil. And now Guerlain is giving us their version. A lip oil, like, really, essentially, if you have one, you have them all. Of course, you can buy them in all the colors of the rainbow, but it's never ever going to show up on your lips anyway. So, did we need this from such an expensive brand? Not quite, but they're trying. Remember what I said about limited editions and Essence and Catrice? This is the Catrice limited edition collection, and I decided to cave. Because I was placing an order for the new Essence stuff. So as you're watching this, it hasn't shipped yet, so I'm not sure when it will be here, and I couldn't get my hands on all the products that I would like to get my hands on yet, but I already spotted the new Essence stuff on Cosmetic for Less, so I got as much as I already could, and then to round out the order, I threw in some of this Catrice stuff. It's their Valentine's Day collection. It comes with nail polish as well as some liquid lipsticks, some bullet lipsticks, a highlighter, and 2 blushes. And they are looking into K-beauty here, and that's why I wanted to try it, because this looks like it could be done by Kaja. Like the way it's packaged with like the heart shape and like the stamp, very Kaja. Also that highlighter. The lipsticks, I hope, are just going to be like the nice Catrice formula I know I love. And then those liquid lipsticks, yeah, they're just matte liquid lipsticks. So I was hoping they could be like lip stains a little bit. It seems to me like Catrice is going a little bit towards a K-beauty route, which is why I wanted to try this. So yeah, this just looks cute, and I caved. Like, my heart started beating a little bit faster when I saw the new Sydney Grace collab. This is the Unveiled palette, which is very much aimed at bridal makeup. And I know some of you have already purchased this. I like the look of this for sure, but now that I've tried 2 of the other 15 pan palettes that Sydney Grace has, I can see the same sort of scheme going on here, where you get a neutral row, you get a warm tone row, and you get a cool tone row. And I have said of my Heaven and Earth and Love's Journey that I like both of those palettes. I really enjoy the quality, but I find them too warm toned. So it's great that they're doing light and dark versions of palettes. I need them to start doing warm and cool, because I can make a cooler tone even if it's super dark. I can still make it work. But there was just something off, and I feel that that's the case here as well, where like the top row is a bit more like pinky peach, depending on which version you're getting. The middle row is like warm browns, and then the bottom row is incredibly cool toned. So for me, it's just a little bit too clashy. I think if you're into doing bridal makeup, this can be really, really pretty. And great news for everybody in the European Union, Sydney Grace is now available through Monolith as well. I don't think I've said that before, so since this is sort of like a news broadcast, I thought I could let you know. So I think if you're looking for a stunning neutral palette that does a little bit of everything you could possibly want, this is great. And Sydney Grace's formula is one I really rate highly, but I don't need this palette. Flower Beauty has some new products. They have a gloss, a liquid blush, some creamy eyeliners, and some under eye correctors. So again, Flower Beauty, not a brand I can get my hands on personally, but I also want to feature some things for all of the US viewers. I enjoy Flower Beauty as a brand. From what I've tried from them, like we had Flower Beauty for a hot minute during the pandemic and then they disappeared about as quickly. Wasn't the right time for them to launch the brand here, I'm sure. But yeah, they do some really pretty things. It's, as far as drugstore brands go, they have that high quality, but with a more decent price point than a lot of other brands have. So Flower Beauty does really lovely things. I would still love to try some of their other products that I never got to try because we didn't get those when they were here. But yeah, hopefully one day I get to try more Flower Beauty. That will be lovely. Another thing I think I had already mentioned in last month's video, but I didn't have that many pictures yet. Or was it just the foundation? Like now it's for like a glow maximizing highlighter. So like a Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter thing, but then by Dior. And the Glow Star filter. Yeah. So it's a liquid highlighter and like a Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter thing for sure. Comes in a couple of shades. Looks pretty for sure. I already have this from Charlotte Tilbury. I have one from e.l.f. I have one from CATRICE. Love my CATRICE ones. I'm going to hang on to that, but I'm not going to be buying the Dior version for sure. And this is the scandal that's currently going on in the beauty world. Charlotte Tilbury has released new lipsticks, and I'm pretty sure it's this product. So what happened is that some beauty influencers have received this in PR, but the lipsticks are missing from the PR package, and it seems like it's actually part of the marketing plan. It's very staged. It's very sort of like, if you go onto TikTok, you'll find it within minutes. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, just launch your lipsticks. It's just another way to create hype. And we all know I do enjoy Charlotte Tilbury for a lot of things, but it's just too hit and miss for how expensive it is. And I have actually decluttered so many of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks because I now have so many from Lisa Eldridge that I just like better. So I always opt for my Lisa Eldridge ones over the Charlotte Tilbury, so that's why Charlotte Tilbury has definitely been dethroned. I think, again, I already mentioned the launch here, but we hadn't seen any of the products yet. But KKW Beauty is back, so Kim Kardashian's brand, in case you're not sure. And she's very much on brand. It's a bunch of nude lip liners and a matte eyeshadow palette. Very on brand, not my vibe. Not my vibe at all, so we're gonna skip that. More Valentine's Day from who other than ColourPop, because ColourPop, of course, also needs a Valentine's Day collection, and it looks like every single other Valentine's Day collection they've done in recent years. No can do. Let's move on to the next thing. I'm being cynical here. You're catching my drift. This is another one for all the people in the US. The Australian brand MILANO Beauty is coming or has arrived in the US. This was announced. I think that's great. You know, getting more brands from other places. I always love seeing that. So that's why I wanted to shout out this release here. If you followed any sort of Australian beauty curator like ever, you've heard them talking about MILANO Beauty, and they're like the elf of Australia, and they just dupe all the more expensive products. Now this is the only palette that made me go, should I buy this? And I've decided I'm not sure yet, so I need your help. If you want me to review this, then I can. Influence me. That's pretty much what I'm asking. What am I talking about? It's by Doll 10. This is their Doll Squat eyeshadow palette. And this reminds me so much of a Stila palette I used to own. If I can find a picture of the Stila palette, I'll put it up, or I'm sure I have a review somewhere up on the blog, so I can link you to that as well. But this is very much like Stila 2014 vibes. It's just, makeup is really coming full circle this year, you guys. It's like very 2014 to 2016 makeup is definitely back. Yeah, I like the look of this. I really, really like the look of this. However, I do think they ship internationally, but it's US only. So again, I would have to pay quite hefty shipping and handling fees, I'm sure. But yeah, this was definitely of interest to me. But I'm still in the midst of trying everything I got for the Black Friday sales. So I'm currently not really in the market for any new eyeshadow palettes. Kaja has a Wink Dazzle eyeshadow and glitter multi-stick out. And this is very K-Beauty on brand because K-Beauty is currently really into their glitter eye stick moment. Like if you go onto YESSTYLE, like every brand on there has an eyeshadow stick with glitter. Like every brand. And I bought some to try already, so I don't need this because I got some from, I think Cleo and Alicia do a couple that looked interesting to me. So I got those in the Black Friday sale. Still have to try them like on my face. I've swatched them. They feel really nice. And yeah, Kaja is doing their rendition, which, like I said, very on brand. It's very sort of like what you see K-Beauty brands doing. So they couldn't be falling behind, but I already have this from other brands, so I'm going to be skipping this one. This, again, apparently is also new from e.l.f. The Pout Cloud Lip Plumping Pen. I already mentioned when I filmed the video with the new CATRICE products that to me it seemed like CATRICE was doing their version of this as well. It's like that MAC clicky pen lip balm kind of thing, and e.l.f. is doing their version. Which, you know, it looks fine, I guess. These do seem to be a little bit shinier and a little bit more pigmented, it seems, than the CATRICE ones. I'm currently still looking for 2 shades from the CATRICE line before I can, like, film a video with it. Not sure when or whether those are coming anytime soon. I hope I can track them down. But yeah, e.l.f. is doing their version, which I think is great. A new foundation from Makeup Revolution, the Skin Silk Skin Loving Serum Foundation. See, if a foundation is called something like Skin Silk, I'm interested instantly. Do I need another foundation though? No, I really need to slow down. Plus, my wish this year is to try more cushion foundations from K-Beauty brands. So, got myself a little wish list on YESSTYLE already. So, we'll be buying a couple of those if I'm buying a new foundation. To go with the lipsticks we already discussed, Charlotte Tilbury is releasing new lip liners as well. Not sure if it's just new shades. Yeah, so this goes indeed with the new Hollywood Beauty Icon lipsticks. So there is a Red Carpet Red, which is the red I still have anyway. So not sure I need this, but then again, I'm currently really into lip liner and like trying them and trying different formulas. And I had some of the lip cheats from Charlotte Tilbury, but I had them in shades that didn't really suit me. And then because I got rid of those matching lipsticks, I got rid of the lip liners as well. And these shades look much more up my street. Like that bright fuchsia, that's a shade I don't have as a lip liner yet. Ooh, yeah. This may need to get a purchase eventually. It's not going on the wish list anytime soon, but yeah, if I'm shopping around and I find myself finding these in store, like Charlotte Tilbury is pretty easy for me to buy because it's sold in my city, so I can just go to the counter and get one. So this is not something I'm gonna buy anytime soon. Then the Colored Rain Cam Quad palette. So I was confused when I first looked at this because it was like, Cam quad, so what? It's 4 quads? No, it's 1 palette and all the shades are organized as a quad. That is already throwing me off. Not gonna lie, don't love it. The packaging looks super cheap. I don't know what happened to Colored Rain. They used to be the it brand a couple of years ago, and everything they've come out with lately has just really not sparked my interest. Very warm tone. The shade seems super duper random. For me, this is a big no. Bella Beauty Bar doesn't just come out with one palette. No, they are starting to turn into like the new Unearthly, where they have come out with a new launch for Valentine's Day as well. This is their Dead Roses palette, which is pinks, reds, and purples for Valentine's Day. Who knew? So revolutionary. I like their formula. I've tried Bella Beauty Bar in the Smoky Glam palette, but I'm currently really on the hunt for some other things. Bella Beauty Bar is again available through Monolith in case you're interested. Then About Face is getting quite a lot of hype for their new foundation. This is the Performer Skin Focused Foundation, which is available in 45 shades. About Face, another brand that is just really incredibly difficult for me to buy. Have I ever been able to find this in store? I don't think I have, which is a shame, because if I could find this in like London or Paris, like when I'm traveling, then I would be inclined to try them for sure, especially if it's a base product. I want to be able to swatch things. I want to be able to like match it to my neck. I find buying foundation online very, very difficult. I think Cult Beauty stocks them, if they still do here in like the European peninsula, the European continent, even though they're based in the UK, of course. But yeah, this has gotten a lot of hype. I would be curious, but like I mentioned, not in the market for a new foundation. Notoriously Morbid has a new palette out as well. This is the Love Fool palette, which it looks actually a little bit more revolutionary than just your average purple, pink, and red palette because it's got blues. It's got a blue, which makes it look a little bit more special, but do I have swatches for this? I don't think I have. So I'm not exactly sure. Notoriously Morbid is another US-based indie brand that has been like on my like, I need to keep an eye out for them kind of list, but they haven't really come out with anything that truly sparks my interest, and this is going on that not worth it kind of list for me for now. Sisley has a new foundation. This is the Phyto Tanned Perfection foundation, yes. But this is mattifying and high coverage, so I don't think I'd love this on myself, plus Sisley is expensive. Does it say how much it is? Oh yeah, it's $125 foundation. We're definitely gonna be skipping that. That's a bit too expensive for foundation, I find. Kosas has a new tinted moisturizer. Now this, at some point, I'd like to try, because I have tried the Kosas like face oil and I liked it, but it doesn't come in a whole lot of shades. The foundation I was able to swatch in store, and there was just something about the texture I didn't love. But seeing they're coming out with like a tinted moisturizer kind of product, it's called the BB Burst. Yeah, and that seems to be coming in a lot more shades. So there I'm like, yes, this could potentially work for me, and therefore I might actually want to try that at some point. Again, Kosas, difficult for me to find, but not impossible. I know I can find this in the UK. YSL's new bronzer, I think, or is it a finishing powder? There's new powders from YSL as well as bronzers. YSL seems to be updating their line quite a bit lately. Like they redid their All Hours foundation last year. They redid their All Hours concealer last year. They've redone a lot of things, it seems. So yeah. Not sure I need this either in my life. I have plenty of bronzer to come by, so don't need the YSL version, and this doesn't look special enough. I mean, the packaging looks cool, but I'm not much of a logo girly, so don't need that. More Valentine's Day then from Beauty Bay. This is the Reckless Romance palette. This is like your burgundy wine with a pop of pink. Like, this is like neutral, but not too vibrant, so I like the color story. But I have just tried another Beauty Bay palette in January. I tried a Metamorphic that they came out with in the fall time for like their Christmas line. And I'm still not in love with the Beauty Bay formula. Sad to say, I don't love the Beauty Bay formula, so I'm going to be skipping this one for sure. More Fenty Beauty then, the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. So Fenty Beauty is coming out with single pan highlighters. Single pan highlighters, which I'm happy with because I love my Kilowatt one. But I do, like, somehow I feel that because it says Demi Glow, I'm thinking it's more like the softer side of the Kilowatts and not the more intense side, which is the side I've actually hit pan on. So yeah, depending on what this formula is like, I might like it, I might not. None of the shades that I can see in these pictures appeal to me in terms of like, this could be a highlighter for me, but that could be because of the shading. This is, again, something I would have to see in real life before I can really make a decision. Then Tarte has a new satin blush, the Man-Eater Satin Blush Cheek Plump. Yeah, it's a liquid blush. What else can I say about it from Tarte? Looks pretty. It looks pretty. It's got a pretty decent shade range as well. There's a really beautiful mauve tone in here that sparks my interest immediately. But also some shades where I'm like, that's not really going to do much, is it? Like, there's just not that much in terms of like a nice cool tone, save for that really intense plum towards the end. So I'm like, maybe not. Makeup Forever has a Skin Hydra Glow Foundation. Now this is one, again, where I'm like, oh, that might be interesting. Again, Makeup Revolution, I always mix them up. Makeup Forever has a pretty decent presence in Sephora. They haven't gotten the kind of hype I feel they used to have. But yeah, this looks really pretty, and if it is hydrating like they say, I might like this. Here's the thing. The reason why I've never tried a Makeup Forever foundation, because I'm very confused by the shade range. Like, they have like Y2WN, whatever, like it's these codes and it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I would definitely need help trying to find my shade. A new Tower 28 product. This is another lip product though. It's a tinted lip balm. So do you need a tinted lip balm from Tower 28? They do make one of my favorite gloss formulas for sure, but I don't need this for sure. They're a nice brand though. I do like a couple of their products. Adept has a new palette as well. It's like some of these, like Adept, Unearthly, now also Bella Beauty Bar, Notoriously Morbid as well. Like, they are churning out the palettes left, right, and center. Like, everybody has like plenty of money and we're not in a, like, whatever. Like, I'm not sure. This is the Flying Fiddles. The Flying Fiddles. It's already out. And I'm like, another color story that my brain just doesn't know what to do with. And that's been the case with a lot of the Adept releases I have found. So, especially the last couple of ones. So this is definitely a skip for me. Then from House Labs, they have a new lip glaze, the PhD Hybrid Lip Glaze. This is like a gloss, essentially, and this is looking stunning. Again, House Labs, nowhere to buy where I live. However, I did book myself a trip to London for May, so I will be going to the UK, and they do sell House Labs at Sephora there. Not a brand I can order online, but I can see if any of these are in stock at the time. But fingers crossed, because the last time, like when I was there last year, a lot of it was picked over. We're nearly there. I have another Glam Light collab with Betty Boop. This is their Valentine's Day collection this year. Save for the blacks that the Chucky palette had in, this is like the Chucky palette but brighter. So also Glam Light needs to rethink their strategy when it comes to Valentine's Day collections. And then I was very surprised to see that Glam Shop, the Polish indie brand that I love the eyeshadow palettes from, also has a Valentine's Day collection. It features 3 palettes, some blushes, some other bits as well. And apparently the Romance palette is actually cool tone. That's what they said on their Instagram. I haven't been able to see inside these products yet, so I don't know. But there are 3 palettes, and the pink palette is pink. The orange palette is a bit more orangey, and then the like brownie one with the hearts was supposed to be a cooler tone palette, they said on their Instagram. REM Beauty is coming out with a new collection as well. There seems to be powder blushes. There seem to be bronzers now as well, some brushes, and a setting spray. So this is exciting. I actually like the look a lot of these brighter pops in the blushes for sure. Like there's a really nice, vibrant hot pink that just screams my name. So this is definitely something I would like to figure out, see if I can find it somewhere. Again, REM Beauty is not very easy for me to get, but I can source it somehow. This is something that's coming out soon. I only have this image, but Cardi B has a collab with NYX. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. And another new product where, again, I only have this blurry reel from it is from Zoeva. They are coming out with a new lip product, and they are calling it their biggest lip launch ever. So I'm curious to see what it is, because I know Zoeva is not much talked about within the online beauty community, but they are still, like, in my brain, they are still one of my favorite beauty brands out there. I still have a bunch of their blushes. I still have all of my older palettes. I love me a bit of Zoeva, so I hope that these lip products look nice. I really, really do. It seems to be like this very hydrating gloss type of thing. I might like that. And then we have Unearthly Cosmetics, their mystery box for Valentine's Day. This is apparently already sold out, like 2 pre-orders or something crazy like that. Like, this is going like hotcakes. I don't know what's inside it. It's a mystery box. There's probably a palette in there. And very often what I have found is that Monolith stocks the Unearthly mystery boxes as well. So this may be something you can also buy even if you're in the EU without having to pay for shipping and handling fees. You just need to wait a bit longer. And then this is not new, but this was new in the fall time, but it's now being very much hyped up on TikTok. Like, I saw several videos as I was scrolling through my timeline. The Shiseido Revitaliscent Skin Glow Foundation. And so many people are saying how amazing it makes their skin look. Again, I have no clue how new this actually is. I just know that it's sort of like gone viral as like the new it foundation to have. If you like expensive foundations, you might like this. And that's it. That's everything I wanted to chat to you about today. As you can tell, there was very, very little in this roundup that had me go like, ooh, I might like you. A couple of the Fenty bits, that Doll 10 palette, and other than that, I was a bit like, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm currently also on a bit of a low buy where I'm like, I want to buy stuff for the channel for those Esses and Catrice releases that are happening. The Catrice stuff, oh, I didn't have an image of that, but Catrice's new line is out, so I'll make sure to link you to that video down below. The Essence one, as soon as I've sourced enough products and the order is in, I will be filming that video for you. I hope I can have it up within the next week or so, because those products are dropping as we speak. And that was my intention for like all of like most of January and February, was to just buy those things and maybe the Cold Moon if it would drop on Monolith. But now I have found out that it's not going to drop until the end of February. That's when that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm not going to be purchasing any other makeup in the next month, because I had this plan of like doing a bit more traveling rather than like shopping makeup all the time, and that's now happening because I've booked some trips. So first half of the year has been planned out. Now I need to start thinking of like what I want to do in the summertime and in the fall time, because I definitely wanted to like travel every small vacation I have. So that's what we're going to be doing, but I'll tell you more about that in another video when things are happening, you could say. So yes, thank you so very much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I would love to know, what makeup release is standing out in your brain? What is it that you are looking out for? Was there anything I've mentioned that you think you may want to buy or not? I would love to know. And then I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos every single week, and then I hope to see you in my next one. Bye-bye.